managing director with a difference. His organization has 500,000 guaranteed customers. But when he gets to his office in London in the morning, he never quite knows where they're going to be next. Whenever a sudden crisis takes British sailors, soldiers or airmen to far-off places, the Navy, Army and Air Force Institutes goes too. To Kuwait, for instance. For 40 years, NAAFI had served the forces in 99 different countries, often at short notice. The Kuwait emergency provided its century. When it was decided to send NAAFI girls to Kuwait, volunteers were called for. Each emergency must be dealt with as it arises. Shortage of staff is always a problem. NAAFI girls don't seem to stay single very long. At the height of the last war, NAAFI was a canteen colossus with a staff of 120,000 serving 5 million customers. Today, a staff of a mere 23,000 supply Britain's streamlined services of 500,000. These women are about to exchange a wet English summer, temperature somewhere in the 60s, for the dust and sunshine of a Middle East desert, temperature somewhere near 120 degrees in the shade, if you can find any shade. In Kuwait, the NAAFI commander's first problem was to organize refrigeration on a big scale. A club was taken over by the army, and the 4 NAAFI girls settled down to their seemingly endless task of handing out cold drinks.
2 pints of it. Better find a wallet.
Cold drinks, ice cream, and more cold drinks. The girls were lucky enough to live in an air-conditioned bungalow. But for the men, after a spell of duty in the desert, the club rooms were havens of coolness. At the Shaibar Rest Camp too, cold drinks by the thousand were served every day. Standing orders were that every man must drink at least 18 pints of liquid a day. To add to the discomfort of the heat, there were sandstorms too. But the NAAFI mobile canteen had to bash on regardless, out to the troops standing guard near the borders of this tiny sheikhdom. Out on the front line, the shade temperature was around 113 degrees, and in the sun, it was up to 140. So the NAAFI canteen was sure of a welcome. Cold drinks again were what they were after. Cold drinks at the rate of 12,000 bottles of minerals a day, 54,000 bottles of beer a week. The men's thirst was never ending. Kuwait was a hasty, high-speed operation. But in Cyprus, NAAFI has had plenty of time to organize its services and provide canteens, clubs, shopping centers and holiday camps. Men can book in at the Troodos holiday camp through their local unit and spend a week or fortnight's leave there with their families. Charges vary, but start at 16 and 9pence a day, all in. At the Roundel Club in Nicosia, run by NAAFI for the RAF, servicemen and their families can enjoy a swimming pool, and there are entertainments 6 nights a week. Every now and then, there's a special occasion, like a beauty contest. The winner this time was Miss Gillian Foster, daughter of an RAF flight sergeant in Nicosia. Gibraltar has belonged to Britain since 1704. In those early days, the garrison had to do without the benefits of the NAAFI. But for the last 40 years, servicemen on the Rock have had the traditional NAAFI break of char and wad. This is how millions of ex-servicemen remember the NAAFI, a small canteen serving tea, cakes and cigarettes. But in peacetime, the role of NAAFI is different. There's no call for countless canteens in forward areas. The big demand is for clubs and shopping centers. This brings the British NAAFI more into line with the American Post Exchange. The PX is the world's largest exclusive shopping preserve, with an annual turnover of £318 million. Here in Germany, as in the rest of Europe, PX is known as the European Exchange System. Modern accounting methods and electronic computers are a far cry from the days when the PX was founded 65 years ago. These computers automatically reorder any of the 32,000 items as they're sold. Machines similar to these are installed at NAAFI depots. An American serving man can buy anything from a diamond ring to a frozen pheasant, from a can opener to a Cadillac, and at prices often much less than at home. Wives and women personnel are specially catered for with hairdressing salons and beauty parlors. There's everything from delicatessens to dry cleaning and even florists. Every one of these services is matched by the NAAFI. Most people would sympathize with the wife of an American sergeant in Frankfurt who said, "If they ever took the PX away from us, I'd be on the next boat home." Like the PX, the NAAFI is a vast trading organization with a turnover of tens of millions. NAAFI even smokes its own bacon, 1,700 tons a year. New sawdust on the floor of the kiln is kindled by shovelfuls of old, smouldering sawdust. The sides of bacon remain in the smoke for about 36 hours. NAAFI has one of the largest wine cellars in Britain. In these cellars, at any one time, are 150,000 dozen bottles of wines and spirits worth £250,000. NAAFI's unique accounting system can be operated by any of 30 or 40 different nationalities, few of whom might speak English. Orders are made up in the warehouses and sent out all over the world. These cases might contain any of the 30,000 or more articles supplied by NAAFI, anything from skis to fur coats, from washing machines to caviar. 40 years ago, when a serving man drew £1 a day, the NAAFI sold him tea and cakes. Today, he can afford a car, a washing machine, an electric mixer. So the NAAFI supplies these too, in whatever part of the world he happens to be.